Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. My name is Tim Wheaton with Calf Kick Sports, and we have our first guest is back with us, and I'm so excited to have Dre Miley back with us. Dre, how's things going, man?
Things are going pretty good, man. They're going really good, really good. I'm very excited for what's happening this year.
Man, you were just in training just a couple hours ago. Tell me a little bit. How was training feeling today? On point? Everything's good?
So far, everything's on point. I don't think I had a bad day so far. Well, what I count as a bad day. It's always a day that I'm getting better, always learning. Today, I was actually teaching. So I was doing a teaching class today. So tonight is sparring. So that's what I will be doing to close out the week and using this weekend to rest up.
Man, I don't think people realize if they're like a lot of people do MMA kind of casually, or they go to like 2 classes a week. For an actual pro MMA fighter, what is your schedule? I don't think people realize how thick your schedule is.
Yeah, I only get maybe 4 hours free, and that's because I made it that way, so I don't kill myself. But usually I'm there. On a typical day, I'm usually there for about 4 or 5 hours a day, and about a couple hours in the morning, and then strength and conditioning, all that. So it's a busy schedule. It's always busy, and people think they want to be a pro fighter and they want to fight until you realize how much time you're giving up away from everybody. So
it's away from your family.
Hard.
It's in like your gym is, you spend more time with people at the gym than you do with your friends and family by a long shot.
Oh, 100%. And thank God that my wife and kids, they go to the gym. So, they've been going for a while, and my wife just started doing jiu-jitsu. So, it's helping. They understand now better about what's going on and why I come home tired and run down and, stuff like that.
Well, you're pushing yourself 100% in the gym, but you said a lot's going on in this year, 2022. You have a fight coming up, I think about 2 weeks from now. Tell us, what's the look of Dre Miley's 2022?
I want to stay busy, trying to fight as much as possible. If there's the opportunity to fight, I'm making sure that I'm staying ready.
Yep.
So I can get that next call, because Bellator is snatching up people left and right. UFC is snatching up people left and right.
Yep.
And PFL is starting to gear up people too. So it's if I can't make it happen this year, I'll be really shocked. So there's a lot of people that got signed by Bellator and UFC that should not be there, and I have a better record than they do, and they got there. So there's no reason why I should not be there.
Well, I agree. Bellator and a UFC should be picking up their phones to call you right away here, especially this year. You're also competing in the most competitive division in MMA. The bantamweight division is by far, like even outside the UFC, even outside of Bellator, if we're talking about one championship and we're including Ryzen, bantamweight is insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a very stacked, and I think it's just the fact that it just now starting to hit headlines of people. It's been stacked for years. It's just people have not been paying attention to it because there's no clout with it. There's no stick out. Since Peter Yan and Aljamain has, pushed everything up, everybody's like, okay, this is exciting. And you got Sandhagen at 35 now, and you have Sean O'Malley and guys like that, now that the star power is there and people are like, oh, these guys are actually scrapping. So it's not just fast action. We can knock people out. We can do all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited. It just makes everything harder and makes it worthwhile whenever you do get signed.
Well, yeah, it's such a stacked division that we got guys like Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, TJ Dillashaw in the top 10, not even like in the top 3 kind of thing. Like, it's an insane division. Who do you got in a Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling? I know it's booked for the next couple of months. What's your prediction for this fight?
I really like Aljamain. Like, I've reached out to him a few times, and he's actually responded back to me, which is just kind of dope. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was just playing around on Twitter.
Yeah.
He actually got back to me, and on Instagram and stuff like that. So I like his style. I like the way he fights. It reminds me a lot of how I do things, and it's almost like a completed form of myself. But I know that like I can take stuff from his game. I hope he wins against Peter Yan, because Peter Yan is a very well-rounded fighter. It's just, I don't know. Everybody's rooting for Peter Yan, and I always like the people that no one roots for.
Yeah, it seems like Aljamain Sterling, like I picked him to beat Peter Yan in their first fight because he was on such a good win streak and he looked flawless going into the fight. And like you said, when he is at 100%, He is so good. And he seems like he's far ahead of a lot of these guys. Struggled a lot in the fight, but we talked to one of the guys at his gym and he said, like you said, like when this guy's at 100%, no one is better than him. But we have so much respect for Peter Yan. I don't know why we're cutting a promo for the UFC. Neither of us are getting paid for this. Like Aljo, send us a check and then we'll talk about your fight.
Yeah, tag him in this and then see what happens.
That's right.
So yeah.
It'll be for like, we'll do some like OnlyFans and then like if you want our Aljamain Sterling breakdown, check out our OnlyFans because we need the money.
There you go. Yeah.
So you got a fight coming up in the next couple of weeks against Ahmed Kiredi. Tell us a little bit, what's the preparation like? What's the game plan? What do you see in this fight?
The game plan is just, try to beat his best weapons, or not try, actually beat his best weapons. I know my coach has put together a really good game plan, and he's done things for this camp to push him to be like, you're going to beat this kid and it's going to happen. So he's a very good striker. He prides himself on striking. He's going to come in swinging, much like the last guy I fought. So, it is what it is. I got a good game plan. I feel like once we get past that whole let me see what you got type thing, and I take him into my world, he's not gonna be in there for 5 rounds or 4 rounds, however many rounds it is.
He's a Muay Thai based striker from the looks of things.
Yeah, and he's not like a Jose Johnson Muay Thai fighter either, which is even more alarming because Jose was very fluid. So when me and him fought, he was very like crisp with his technique, like he was good with it. This guy's more of a counter / power Muay Thai guy. Like everything he throws it to hurt. There's no setup. There's that, and he likes to showboat. He likes to pander to his crowd, which I like that. Which is not really a good thing to do against me, but it is what it is.
Ben, this is a good fight for you, and this was Saturday night. This will be February 19th at Rocket Combat Sports 8, and you are the headliner for this one.
Yep, that's right.
Man, How can people watch the event if they want to tune into the event? Where should they go?
I think they're going to produce a link here soon. Like I don't have a link for it. I'm pretty sure it'll be on their website. They'll say something, so I'll be able to share it. So I don't know.
Well, as soon as send it over to us. We'll shoot it out to the public. But it's funny that you're their headliner and their future champion, and we're all just like, no, I don't know. There's maybe a link on Facebook.
I was like, all right, because I asked, and people were asking me like how to buy tickets. I was like, well, hold on, let me ask Ramon. Like, hey, how do I sell tickets to your thing? Because people actually want to show up. So I'm pretty sure they'll send out a link or something, which is kind of weird because, like, again, it's like I'm in the same process of like, I guess the platform that I have built for myself with, talking with you and a few other people is that like, they're like, hey, sell this fight. Hey, talk to these people. And like, I'd be damned if I'm not going to someone's foreign territory and I'm selling the fight and the other person just goes AWOL. It's like, I'm not selling nothing. I'm wrapped up in training. It's like, well, why am I getting pushed for this? Like,
I remember this back in the early days of MMA. Like, I think Strikeforce had talked about it. We had one show come to our hometown and they did the same thing where they would go to fighters and give them like 200 tickets and be like, we'll give you a cut if you sell all 200 kind of thing. Like, I think that's that's a kind of a traditional MMA thing, but yeah, for you guys, that's not a good deal for the fighter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm coming to your state, and you're telling me to sell tickets, and then your dude that is the champion of your promotion, it ain't pushing nothing, ain't making posts or anything, it's kind of like, are you using me because you know that the gym I come from is good and the platform I built up, so you're using it as exposure? So, I mean, I'm not mad about it at all. It's like, you use me because it's just going to elevate me more, especially when I beat your dude. It's going to be funny. So
that's true. And you do have a really good following on social media. You have a huge amount of supporters all around the world. Is it just amazing to wake up every morning and get all those messages from your fans and supporters?
It's kind of weird. Like, I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know these people. And they're like, Dre, you're awesome. Like, okay, thank you. But like, it was just, just shooting shit with people. Like, I know I did a live session after I had fought Sweeney, and people were all over the place were just sending me messages like from Ireland and, all over the UK and on the west side of not Knoxville, west side of the states and everything. It was like, you're awesome, keep doing this. I was like, man, that feels good. Like it really does. It's like, dang, people are really watching. And I'm like, oh crap, people are really watching. So, it's one of those things. It's really cool. It's really cool.
It's a cool feeling. And speaking of your last fight, what did you learn coming out of this match with John Sweeney? This was at XMMA, which is a really fun promotion to watch. What was the lessons learned? What do you want to see what did you improve on in the gym? All that stuff.
I did something that I had promised myself a long time ago not to do. And I didn't do it in my last two fights, and I did it in this fight. It's just, don't wait on him. I feel like I had waited just a little bit too late. It wasn't that like, it's not like he's not good. He's pretty good. He comes from a good gym. It's just the fact that I put myself to be set up. Whether people are like, oh, the ref called it early, but like at the end of the day, it was me not getting my offense off. Like I've been hit harder than that. And it's just the fact that I couldn't get out of my own way, pretty much. It's like, I don't know. I had a lot of mental crap that was going on for that fight. Like I was more worried about him making weight, because the whole history of me and him was supposed to fight and he didn't make weight, and then he showed up for weigh-ins late. And
I remember this.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. And then he tried to, it was a lot. It was a lot going on, and to me, that should have never happened. And at one point I was like, I'm just ready for this fight to happen. And then when we get to the fight, this is right before the first fight happens. The cage wasn't set up the right way, and shit like that. They didn't know when everybody was going to fight. It was just a lot. If it was a master clusterfuck, and I allowed all that stuff to affect my performance. So my biggest takeaway is just, it doesn't matter what goes on. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fight you. I don't care if they play the wrong song. I don't care if the cage is falling apart. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to fight this dude, and I'm going to finish him.
It's incredibly hard to walk into that cage and feel comfortable. Maybe is the wrong word, but in some way you have to block everything else out. You have to block out the audience, block out the crowd, block out the promotion. And it's a very hard thing to do, because like when I did amateur boxing, that's something I could never do. I was listening to the audience. I was listening to like my girlfriend speak to my coach. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to do that. Is there exercises, mental exercises that you had worked on that you're going to try in this next fight, or you've worked on in the past?
Yeah, it's a lot of meditation and visualization that I've been working on more so, because the last two fights, the Jose Johnson fight and the Tim fight, like I was doing a lot of visualization, and sometimes it would just happen automatically. I could see things happen, and I could, deal with it. And then with this fight, it seems to be happening a lot frequently, just like on its own. The Sweeney fight, it was just like, it's just a fight. At this point, I was just like, it's a fight. And that was the worst mindset to have. So going back to meditating and, chilling out and being like, you're fine. Things are going to happen. This is what we do, blah, blah, blah. Normal stuff. Play the game plan out in my head, play my day out of the weigh-ins all the way up to the fight day. Plan it all out, play it in my head. So that way it's not foreign to my brain anymore. So
man, it's a ton of work. You can do all the work in the gym, but the mental side is just takes so much focus. It's a tough sport to be competing as, and you're doing an incredible job in it. You're done after this fight. You get a win. We're calling up the UFC. We're calling up Bellator. This is going to happen. You're in the most competitive division. But what you've done some media in your past. What questions are you absolutely sick of as well in MMA? Like from some of these guys like myself. What are you absolutely sick of answering?
I guess the number one is like, are you ready for the fight? Do you feel ready? Like,
what do you think?
It's like the most generic questions ever. It's just like, dude, chill out. Like, I understand that you're trying to get the scoop of the fighter and try to blah blah blah. It's like, nobody cares about the fighter, because everybody who trains MMA, everybody who does this, they do the same process. They're ready to fight. Their diet's on point. Blah blah blah. Or maybe they're being a complete slob. Whatever. Just meet the person behind the fighter. That's the main thing. Like, you can ask me like, hey, how you feel about this fight? Hey, what's the game plan? All that was like, oh God, I gotta answer this question over and over again. It's like, no, man, it's like, hey, what's your favorite comic book character? Something like that. Like, make it relatable. That's why I wish more people do. That's why I like talking to you and a few other podcasters, because you guys do that. Like, takes my mind off of the fight. It's like, oh, it's not even a fight. I'm just talking to one of my friends.
Well, here's the thing. And I'll be totally honest with you. I interview a lot of fighters. I don't want to hear about your guys' fight before the fight. You guys, like, every fighter says the same thing before the fight. Yeah, it's the best shape of my life. Yeah, I'm ready. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. We've been there. I would rather, like you said, talk about the fighter, because fighters are really interesting people. All right, so let's start it off. Marvel or DC?
Oh, definitely Marvel. DC's too dark. It's way too dark. It's way too dark. It's always depressing. I can't deal with that. Like, and then if I'm looking at superheroes, superheroes are supposed to be this like abnormal, super, fantastic peoples, people that should not exist at all, stuff like that. Yeah. Like, you should be able to fly, shoot, lasers out your hand, travel in different dimensions, all that. I don't want to hear about no billionaire who bought his suit and, it can beat all these like intergalactic people. And I don't know. I was like, no. And then he has a code, but he can kill all the superheroes, but he can't kill this one dude that is like, yeah. Oh, I was like, that doesn't make sense at all. It's like, no. That's why I just watch anime or read mangas. I can't do that.
That's actually true. You are a big manga guy, and right now you have Dokugaru as your name on Instagram. What is Dokugaru? I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Doku Genryu. What does this mean?
It's a one-eyed dragon. It's just Japanese.
Oh, it directly. Oh, gotcha. That makes perfect sense then. That is your nickname, Doku Genryu, the one-eyed dragon. Oh, absolutely awesome. Yeah. What are you reading in manga right now? What would you recommend to others?
Right now, I'm reading Super. I'm not really reading other ones. I kind of fell off on my manga game for a little bit. So I've been wrapped up in Super for a while.
What is Super? Tell me all about this.
Dragon Ball Super. So the new edition of Dragon Ball.
Oh man, I actually never even got into Dragon Ball when I was a kid. What were the animes that you loved growing up when you were young?
Come on, man.
I know, man. I was busy. Yeah. I was into like Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblades. I was in the worst ones.
Man, if Dragon Ball did not exist, none of the animes we have today would be here. And that's straight from the creator's mouth. So I mean, like, now I've been watching, of course I've been watching Dragon Ball Super. Yeah. I got my wife into it, so she kind of likes it, but she's one of those that has to watch from start to finish. I'm like, I'm not watching Dragon Ball over again. So that, I was watching Seven Deadly Sins for a little bit. My friends have been trying to get me to watch Demon Slayer, and I can't watch any animes if the main character is a crybaby. Like, I can't watch My Hero Academia because that, like, I can't deal with a crybaby. I can't.
I was gonna say, like, you got an
anime that I'm watching. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. If I wanted to do that, just get my kids to do something they don't want to do, and there you go.
Exactly. But you were saying?
Yeah. So the anime I'm watching now is Baki, which is just it's a fighter's anime, but like the bodies don't make sense. Like, they are so grotesquely muscular. Like, the stuff that they talk about with the fighting and stuff, like, all that's legit. Like the karate, the systema and the wrestling and all that stuff. It's all legit. Like, everything is factual. But like, I just can't go with that. Like, these dudes are like super, super lean, and their like muscles is popping out of their muscles. It's like, God, that's kind of nasty looking. But like, the fight scenes are just nasty.
No, I had watched, I think, some of the original Baki, which was from, I'm trying to find it here, because there's a new one from 2018 and 2019, and then there's the old one, which I think was in the early 2000s. And the one from the early 2000s, I had the same reaction as you. Like, I like martial arts, but this is kind of a lot. This is a bit much. Are you watching the new series? Do you recommend it to other people?
I'll watch it all. Like, it's all on Netflix. I just been spam watching it. So like, I watch it, and I watch the new season pop out because I follow the manga on like YouTube, because I can't find the manga like on the apps that I use. I was like, I'll just follow on YouTube, and it's just like, oh God, this new season is gonna be just ridiculous. So Yeah, I watch it all on Netflix. I've been watching it over and over and over again. I watch it before I go to the gym, and I'm ready to start fighting.
Boy, man, these guys are jacked. I don't think they're doing drug testing in this in the Baki universe because man, these guys are built.
No, like no, they like talk about how like they work out, they lift weights, like they actually legit do stuff, and it's just like like no push-ups and sit-ups and it's all that, and I like the whole dynamic of Yujiro and Baki's situation. Like Yujiro's like the strongest dude. He beat his dad, who was like the strongest dude on the planet. He beat him, and then like no one can touch Yujiro like at all, and he's just waiting on like Baki to come and like beat him up, and they have that weird relationship where like they're cool with each other, and like it's the respect there. He still loves his son and all that stuff. And it's just like I'm waiting on the scene where they start fighting. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, you're way more excited talking about this than you are like, yeah, my fight's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because the fight's gonna take care of itself. Like, sparring and fighting, you do that every day. It's like, well, what do you like about fighting? I get to punch and kick and take somebody down without getting press charges on. Like, what? Play by anime. Like, dude, let me tell you about this. It's like, yeah.
Did you ever watch there was one when I was growing up on Spike. Did you ever watch Afro Samurai?
I did. I love Afro Samurai.
Love Afro Samurai.
Samuel Jackson was in it. It's so funny. It's a good anime too. Because he follows the whole Bushido code and all that stuff too.
I thought I was the only person who remembered this show. It feels like a fever dream whenever I think about it. Like it was real though, and it feels insane. But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson and the RZA did the music for it, so the music is really good. I'm just bringing it up on Wikipedia now. I think the soundtrack was arguably better than the show.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because Wu Tang was in on it. They definitely love it because that's their thing. So they love the that type of lifestyle, that Asian life style.
Man, they were like weeaboos. They were anime nerds before it was easy to be anime nerds because they were having to like find old kung fu movies to rip back in like the mid 90s when this was barely a thing. You know what I mean? Like for us, it's pretty easy. It's everywhere on the internet. You can find everything on YouTube even. But for them, like they were weird Japanophiles before it was cool.
Yeah. And now it's publicized for like it's encouraged now for people to do it. Like I remember like growing up.
Oh, I'm wearing a
people like there you go. There you go.
This wasn't even planned, but yeah.
Yeah.
Please go on.
Get me a Wu Tang shirt soon. But no, it is. It's back in school, man. You just get teased for that. Like, why would you watch this weird stuff? It's like you have to watch it past the, what the silly animation is. Like, there's solid messages behind it. It's teaching you like Goku, for example. Goku taught you like if you want something, you gotta work for it. He wanted to be the strongest, and you gotta work for it. Vegeta's the same way. Baki's the same way. Any anime, it's that common principle. You gotta do the work.
Well, some of them are so clearly made for children. Like I've gone back and watched Metabots, and I just come away feeling like this is such a kid's show. Same with like restarting Yu-Gi-Oh, a show that I loved. I come away and was like, this is such a kid's show. Whereas Cowboy Bebop, I appreciate more now that I'm a grown man and like I've suffered a lot. I've got like I went through bad years there. Now watching Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, wow, yeah, I get this. I get this like wanting to die kind of idea, running towards danger because your life is kind of boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Did you watch the live action of it?
I can't bring myself to do that. It looks awful. Did you watch it?
They said that no, I did not. But I have a buddy of mine, Anthony Cochran, who's somebody you should hit up for an interview.
Let's do it.
He is another animator. I'm gonna yell at him tonight. But like I think he watched it and he told me like it was bad. Like it was really bad. And it's like you don't watch it. So
they got pretty big casting for it and they still canceled it within like 10 days of the premiere. Like even Netflix wasn't super pumped on this, but I could have told them this ahead of time from the looks of the images and the trailers of like, I think you missed it. Like Jet looked great. Jet looked awesome. Jet is Jet. other than that, I think you guys missed everything else that was important in the show. But I haven't watched it, but I can't write a review on it. I haven't watched it because it looks awful.
Yeah, it that's the thing about doing like live actions, because it's such a hot thing now. You cannot do live action anything now, because people like us who watched it from the roots of it, we're going to nitpick it. We are absolutely going to nitpick it, and if it's something is slightly off, we're gonna go ham about it. It's just ridiculous.
The fans call it like, this is the perfect anime. This is a perfect show. You can't remake it and make it better. There's no point in remaking it. There's certain advantages to animation that this sounds so stupid, but animation is beneficial for a reason. Do you think that Netflix can adapt Avatar: The Last Airbender? Because I have low hopes, and I love Avatar, man.
If they have a really good backing and a really good, so the thing is, like you said, you can't redo anything. You can't. The only thing you can live action it is follow the script that's already there. Don't try to take a certain arc and be like, oh, I got to do this arc. No, do exactly what it is. If you're going to do it, follow it to a T. The script's already written. Like, go through those extra bucks to get that copyright, or go through those extra bucks to get that person on board. And then that's how you redo it. That's how you do things. As I can't stand when people like try to remake stuff. It's like, you can't remake it. Like, stop doing that. Like how they do it with cartoons now, and it irritates the crap out of me. Like, I forgot one cartoon my sons was watching, and they were like, Dad, look at this cool cartoon. I'm like, I'm watching. I was like, this is an old cartoon. They're like, no, it's not. I was like, no, this cartoon was out when I was a kid. Like, this is what's about to happen. And I said it, and they're like, oh, like, this is old, son. This is old. Like,
what was it? What do you remember? What do you remember? What it was?
I could not tell you. It was something. It was something revamped. I don't know. It was my oldest. My elder two was watching it, and they were talking to me about it, and I was like, no, like, son, this is what this. I forgot what it was. They'll come to me in a minute.
But is it weird having your kids watch like new SpongeBob? Because like you and I watched SpongeBob growing up, and like there was other stuff like it's weird of like, man, this is still on TV. Like, this is still kind of the same thing.
Yeah, we have those conversations like quite a bit. They'll be watching SpongeBob, and then they'll be laughing, and I'm like, this is an old show. It's like, why you know? Because like you said, it's been around since I was a kid, and like I was like, now Patrick's got his spinoff show and.
No way.
Like that.
Sounds, man. Man, that's lame as hell. I'm not even gonna. I know I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna look this up. This is so stupid.
It is a little Patrick show. He has I think he has like new friends or something like that. It was a lot. I was like, I can't watch this.
The Patrick Star Show. I looked it up, and this looks stupid as hell. Let's talk a little bit. Tell me about some of the formative video games that you had growing up that really like shaped who you are in terms of what your video game tastes are today.
It's easy. That's Super Mario. I played a lot of Super Mario because my aunt was she's only like 18 years older than me, something like that, maybe younger. So like she had a Nintendo, and like I would play the Nintendo with her because she was always babysitting, and that was the only way she could get me to stop annoying her, teaching me to play video games. So played that. So Super Mario World was like my ultimate game. I wish PlayStation had it on there because I would play that game religiously. Mortal Kombat was one. I loved Mortal Kombat.
But let me stop you there. What is with Nintendo's like old retro games? They were fitting on 8-bit and 16-bit cartridges. Why can't you guys sell me this on my phone? Why are you guys hiding it? Like, you can't play it except for on an illegal emulator is the only place you can get original Nintendo games. Like, we want to buy it. I want to give Nintendo money.
Yeah, I really don't know. I think they feel like it would be a bundle deal to get the system. Because the way they make the most money is you get the system and then you get the game. Now, if everybody's just popping up and, just paying for the game, or it could be a software thing. I don't know. But I think that too. Like, why would you not? It's like Sega. Sega just sold its gaming rights over, and like, we're not doing arcade no more. So we're just strictly doing that. It's like, well, that's how you made all your money. Is all those Sega games is, Sonic and Pole Position and Dig Duck, all those games like that. It's like, all right, okay. That's what you want to do. Then do it.
It doesn't make sense to me. I would package it like they did Pokemon or no, they did Pokemon Go, but they also did Sonic Run or something like that. And then they had like Mario Run, which went on your phone and it got like 1 billion downloads. Like, man, take the hint.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give you money here, Nintendo. Anyway, and also Mortal Kombat, which is an absolute classic. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. What was the main one? Or were you like a later Deadly Alliance and Armageddon guy?
I played all of them. I started on Mortal Kombat 1.
Nice.
And then whenever I was old enough to like actually have it, that my mom was convinced like I could, I was mature enough to play it. I got 2 and like I mastered 2 to the point where like I knew everybody's moves. I didn't even need fatalities. Like I just ran through that game. And then all the way up until I think 11. I got 11 now. I know 11 is literally collecting dust because I know if I play it, there is no working for me at all. Absolutely no working. Yeah. Like, because those games suck me in so much. I'm like, okay. Like, and then like I'll criticize that game. Like, this dude wasn't here. Like, this is a new character. I don't like this character. But why they do Scorpion like this? I was like, so I steer away from that. So for right now, and now since playing on the PlayStations more, Crash Bandicoot was a big one. Spyro was a big one.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then I never really liked the Metal Gear Solid games. Never really got into them. And then
they were a different style where everything else was so action. Metal Gear Solid, especially for young guys like us when we were 8, like it was very slow. So I think it was like I liked Splinter Cell when I was 12. But Metal Gear Solid at 8, I wasn't mature enough to kind of get it. I agree with you on this. Like, we were too young is the problem.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I would love Splinter Cell. I love playing Splinter Cell.
Love Splinter Cell. It's the best.
Love it. It's coming back, apparently. The remake, they're doing something with it. It's supposed to be on like the PlayStation 5 or something like that. They're building the game.
They've said it so many times. I'm done being teased here by Ubisoft. Like, just make the game or don't, but stop teasing me. It's been a decade and a half of you teasing me.
Exactly. So, but right now, only games I'm playing is Red Dead 2, which I played to 10th power. And Ghost of Tsushima, I'm playing that again because I found out that they have a Legends mode on there.
Ooh, baby.
I'm playing that. It's very weirdly set up, but I have fun playing it. If I need something to get off stress, I'll play it and just run through and just mess up people. So I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, both that and they had the new DLC that came out when you go to, I think it's Fiji Island.
Okay.
Played that. That one's pretty fun. That edition's pretty good.
Man, I wanted to come out on PC because it looks awesome. Like I almost bought a PlayStation for this and God of War, but then God of War is now on PC and Horizon's on PC. So I'm like, maybe I'll just wait it out. You know what I mean?
It might be. I mean, it's worth the money. I'll say that. It's definitely worth it. Okay. And then playing Destiny with Anthony and Nick. Okay. So Destiny 2, since they have the Witch Queen come out, I dropped money on it. I asked permission from the wife if I can get it, and she said yes. I was like, yeah. I was like, can I get it? I don't get it.
I fully understand. I totally understand that. I have to ask my wife before buying stuff. I get you 100%. I wanted to ask you as well. Are you one of those guys, like the typical Destiny player that I know likes Destiny, but more than they like it, they hate Destiny? Is this accurate?
I like playing it, but I don't like playing by myself. Like I have to have people around me. And it does get repetitive after a while. Like if I don't go in there and play it, like start up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, so I can get this. And it's like I hate the fact that it's repetitive. It gets really repetitive. So but yeah. I love the game. I've always loved it. It's just hard for me to play by myself sometimes.
Yeah, I totally get you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to be excited for because I like Halo, and then they were kind of adapting, like it's like Halo engine, but we're kind of doing a bigger open world. Cool, that sounds great. And then no one was like, everyone said what you said of like everything's a bullet sponge. It's just fun with friends if you have friends, and I don't have friends, so that answers that.
Well, so you should get it because it's cross platform, so you can play no matter what system you have.
I'll ask my wife if I can buy the Destiny.
The Destiny's free. It's free.
I didn't know that. Oh shit.
Yeah, Destiny's been free for years. Now here's the thing. This is what I don't like about Destiny.
Yeah.
Everything that you want, it costs money to add on to it. So like the seasons, it's like, okay. So like the new season coming out is Witch Queen. So like you gotta buy that if you want to continue the story. Otherwise, you're doing, extra stuff. So like with Destiny, people have got it down to where like, okay, we offer you this cool game because within the free game, you can still do stuff. You can still level up. You still do a lot of things. But if you want more stuff, you can buy this DLC to get this stuff and blah blah blah. And I was like, damn, that's pretty genius. I can't be mad at that. So
man, it feels like a ripoff though. If it wasn't you playing it, if it was your kids with that same setup on, like if they were playing Fortnite or Roblox, a lot of kids plays, or Minecraft, and they came at you and like, I need your credit card number, you'd be like, no, that sounds stupid.
Yeah. Now then you say that, and it has happened because that's what my kids do. They'll ask their mom or ask me. Like my oldest one was like, he got some money for Christmas. Well, all three of them got money for Christmas. I'm like, all right, you guys get to pick what you want. He's like, I want V-Bucks. I'm like, what? He's like, I want V-Bucks. And then my other one's like, yeah, me too. I was like, why? It's like, you have this much money. Why would you not just go do this? No, I want V-Bucks. I was like, okay. And then he plays Destiny too. So my oldest one does. So he'll randomly message me and be like, Dad, what do I do here? I'm like, about what? It's like, here, just friend me and I'll show you how to do this. So
man, you guys should do a Twitch channel. You guys got to do a Twitch channel or something like that.
I've actually thought about it. I was like, because my middle child, Cameron, he's a big personality, and he's always been talking about having like a YouTube page and stuff like that. I was like, well, you can make money playing video games, but I'd have to be on there with you. So if they all get down to it, and I decide to bite the bullet and buy a camera, then that'll be it. So
man,
they like it. They like it.
And it's kind of a fun thing if you're doing it with your kids, like you guys are playing Destiny together and streaming it. It's a fun activity to do together, but I don't have kids, so I don't have to. I don't know.
No, it's fun. It gets competitive. So like when we do play with each other, we have to play like, on the Switch and start playing like Smash Brothers and stuff. So
man, are you pissed when your kids beat you? Are you just pissed? You're just like, man, this is bullshit.
I only get mad if they talk trash to me. Like that's the worst part. Like, and then it's not in the fact that like they talk trash. It's like they'll use the character that I use, and they'll ask me like how to do a certain move, and I'll tell them because I'm trying to be a good dad, try to be fair, and they do it, and then they start talking to me like, Dad, I'm gonna get you. And I got you, Dad. I killed you. I'm like, all right, it's just children, Dre. Calm down. Like, nope. And then I'm like, all right, and then I start doing combos. Because again, Smash Bros. Has been out since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you do that? It's like, it's the same combos for years. It's like, you guys just are behind. So that's what it is. It gets competitive in the Miley household. It gets really competitive.
I'm not surprised at all. All of y'all are playing there, man. And it's you involved as well. It's going to be hyper competitive in that household, right?
Oh, yeah. It's worse. That's what I said. And then we do play Call of Duty together. The only time I let them play Call of Duty is if it's the older two that play because they understand what's going on.
Right.
And we will play gun games specifically. And my oldest beats me in that, and he just rags me about it. I was like, this is the only game you play. I don't play Call of Duty. And he's like, well, I beat you. He's like, I'm the king at this game. I was like, okay. All right. Okay.
I paid for this game. I pay for the heating in this house. Shut up.
Yeah. Like, you want to eat tonight? No.
I feel too old for Call of Duty. It's like a fast twitch game, right? Like it takes a lot of reaction. I feel too old at this point.
It is. It's adding more nonsense to it than it needs to be. It's just a lot. I don't really care too much for it, but they want to play with me, so I'll bite the bullet. Like, all right, I'll play.
Man, I'm with you. But yeah, okay. So we got a big podcast, 40 minutes. We're talking video games and anime and some MMA here and there. My boy, Dre Miley, The One-Eyed Dragon. He is fighting Ahmed Keredi at Rocket Combat Sports 8. Once we have the link, we'll let everybody else know. This fight is on the 19th of February. Dre, you get the last word. Let the people know where they can find more of you, what's going on in your life, all that good stuff. Shout them out.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Dre Miley, MMA 135. And then you can find me on Twitter, One-Eyed Dragon, spell it all out. Dre, I'm on there not as much as I used to be, but I am on there. And then Facebook, just send me a friend request on Facebook, Dre Miley. I'm on there. I talk to people, nonsense, and post things. So, and then thank you to my team, at Knoxville Martial Arts Academy, all my teammates, my strength and conditioning coaches. Everybody's doing their part. I'm doing my part to help, make sure our team gets better. And there's a lot of us fighting this year. There's a lot of big fights. We have just a lot of people are going to be fighting. You're going to see a lot more KMA people fighting. Hopefully on the national stage, everything goes well, Lord willing. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome stuff. Best of luck in your upcoming fight, and thank you for your time, sir.
All right. Thank you, man.
You're watching Calf Kick Sports.